Ladies and gentlemen, what if I told you that the difference between an ordinary life and an extraordinary one is decided while the world is asleep? That the strongest women, the leaders, the warriors, the world changers do not wait for the sun to tell them when to rise, because long before the birds sing, before the city awakens, before the demands of life come knocking, there is a sacred hour, a moment in time when the strongest women step into their power. They wake up at 3 a.m. not because they have to, but because they are called to. They wake up not for the world's applause, but for a deeper purpose, a divine assignment that cannot wait until morning. While others are resting, they are rising. While others are dreaming, they are doing. If you listen closely, you'll hear the whisper of destiny calling you to do the same. You see, strength is not built in comfort. Greatness does not come to those who press snooze on their calling. It comes to those who embrace the discipline of rising before the rest of the world. A strong woman knows that the early hours belong to those who desire change. It is the hour of the warrior, the intercessor, the visionary, the dreamer who refuses to settle. It is in this sacred time that she sharpens her mind, strengthens her spirit, and sets her course for the day ahead. She prays when others sleep. She plans when others delay. She prepares when others waste time. And because of that, she moves through life with unshakable strength. But why 3 a.m.? Because in those moments of stillness, distractions are silenced. The noise of the world is hushed. It is in the quiet that she hears the voice of God, the whispers of wisdom, the direction that will shape not only her day, but her destiny. The weak woman waits for motivation. The strong woman wakes up with purpose. She does not rise for the applause of men, but for the approval of her Creator. Most people want success, but they aren't willing to pay the price. They want strength, but they don't want the sacrifice. They desire impact, but they refuse discipline. But not the strong woman. She understands that the price of greatness is discomfort. While others are resting in mediocrity, she is rising in mastery. While others are making excuses, she is making history. So I ask you today, what kind of woman will you be? Will you let life happen to you, or will you wake up and take control of your destiny? Will you rise when the world sleeps? Will you step into the silence and prepare for the battles ahead? Because I tell you this, if you want to live an uncommon life, you must have uncommon discipline. If you want to be strong, you must be willing to do what the weak will not. The strongest women wake up at 3 a.m., not because it is easy, but because they are called. And if you feel that stirring in your soul, that tug on your spirit, that quiet voice calling your name, then it's time. It's time to rise. It's time to step into your power. It's time to wake up at 3 a.m. Are you ready? There is something powerful about the stillness of the early morning, something sacred about the moments before the world awakens. The strongest women know this truth, and that is why they rise before the sun. It is not about habit or routine. It is about answering a call that echoes deep within their souls, pulling them out of the warmth of comfort and into the presence of purpose. It is in these quiet, undisturbed hours that the greatest battles are fought, the deepest prayers are spoken, and the clearest visions are received. A strong woman does not wake up at 3 a.m. because it is convenient. She wakes because there is work to be done. While the rest of the world remains in the embrace of sleep, she steps into the quiet and prepares for the day ahead. This is not just about waking up early, it is about stepping into a time of focus, clarity, and divine alignment. She understands that before the chaos of the day begins, before distractions creep in, before responsibilities pull her in every direction, she must first align herself with the purpose that fuels her. This hour is not about productivity alone. It is about presence, the presence of mind to hear the voice of wisdom, the presence of heart to set intentions for the day, the presence of spirit to receive strength for what lies ahead. The strongest women understand that the battles they face are not won in the moment of challenge, but in the hours of preparation. They do not wait for life to happen to them. They take hold of life with both hands and shape it according to the vision placed within them. Rise before dawn is an act of defiance against the temptation of comfort. It is an act of discipline in a world that thrives on distraction. It is an act of faith, believing that these quiet hours of unseen work will yield a harvest in due time. A strong woman knows that success is not built on moments of inspiration alone, but on the daily choices that few are willing to make. She understands that the world rewards what is done in public, but destiny is shaped in private. At 3 a.m., there are no spectators, no applause, no validation. There is only the woman, the work, and the whisper of purpose calling her forward. This is where she builds herself. This is where she fortifies her mind, strengthens her body, and aligns her soul with a greater vision. This is where she fights the battles no one sees, so she can walk in victory when the world is watching. The strongest women rise before the rest, not because they have mastered life, but because they are committed to mastering themselves. And in those quiet moments before dawn, they find the strength to do it all over again. There is a moment before the world stirs, a space in time untouched by the chaos of the day, where the strongest women stand alone with their thoughts, their prayers, and their purpose. This hour is not just another checkpoint in the day, it is sacred. It is the moment where transformation begins, where clarity replaces confusion, and where the strongest are separated from the rest. At 3 a.m., the distractions of the world are silenced, and all that remains is raw, unfiltered purpose. A woman who rises at this hour does so not out of obligation, but because something within her refuses to be still. This is not about productivity for the sake of achievement. It is not about checking items off a to-do list or proving oneself to the world. It is about alignment. It is about tapping into the deeper currents of life, stepping into a space where wisdom flows freely and direction becomes clear. While others sleep, she listens. While others dream, she prepares. While others wait for motivation, she moves with intention because she understands that the greatest breakthroughs do not come from moments of convenience, but from the sacrifices made in the quiet. A woman who wakes at 3 a.m. is not merely chasing success. She is pursuing something greater. She is building a foundation of discipline that will sustain her when challenges arise. She is strengthening the resolve that will carry her through the moments when the world tells her to quit. She is carving out a space for growth, ensuring that her mind, her body, and her spirit are in sync before she steps into the demands of the day. The outside world may never see these moments of preparation, but they will feel the power of a woman who has taken the time to set her course before stepping into the storm. The strength found in this sacred hour is not about physical ability, nor is it about sheer willpower. It is about surrendering to something greater than oneself, acknowledging that the strength to carry out a purpose does not come from within alone, but from aligning with a power far beyond human capacity. This hour is where she seeks wisdom, where she refines her vision, where she asks the hard questions and waits in stillness for the answers to come. It is not about forcing results, but about creating space for revelation. When a strong woman rises at 3 a.m., she is not just waking up early, she is stepping into the presence of her calling. She is removing the distractions that dull her vision. She is setting the tone for her day, ensuring that when the sun rises, she does not rise with uncertainty, but with conviction. While the world remains in darkness, she moves in clarity. While others delay, she decides. While others hope for change, she becomes the force that creates it. Mediocrity is the silent thief of destiny. It does not announce itself with great obstacles or dramatic failures. Instead, it seeps into the mind through small compromises, one snooze button, one delayed decision, one excuse at a time. It lulls people into comfort, convincing them that tomorrow is just as good as today, that success will somehow arrive without sacrifice, that greatness is reserved for someone else. But the strongest women refuse to be bound by these invisible chains. They know that the price of an extraordinary life is paid in the quiet hours when the world is asleep. That is why they wake up at 3 a.m. This is not about simply being an early riser. It is about taking control of life before life takes control of them. It is about stepping away from the crowd that chooses comfort over commitment. The world is full of people who settle, who wish, who wait for the perfect moment that never comes. But the strong woman does not wait, she moves. While others give in to excuses, she takes action. While others rest in routine, she reaches for more. She understands that every morning is an opportunity, and the way she begins her day will determine the course of her life. A woman who rises at 3 a.m. is not just chasing a goal, she is breaking a cycle. She is rewriting the story that says she is limited, that she must accept what is given to her, that she is powerless against circumstance. She is proving to herself day after day that she is in charge of her own destiny. She does not wait for motivation. She creates momentum. She does not wait for permission. She claims her place. She does not settle for a life that is good enough when she knows she was made for more. This discipline does not come easily. It requires sacrifice, persistence, and an unshakable commitment to growth. It means rejecting the voices, both internal and external, that say she should slow down, take it easy, blend in. It means facing discomfort head on and choosing to rise anyway. The world may never see the early mornings, the quiet struggles, the battles fought in solitude, but it will see the results. It will see a woman who is focused, who is strong, who moves with intention because she has done the work in the hidden hours. The difference between those who lead and those who follow is not talent, luck, or privilege. It is discipline. It is the willingness to do what others will not. It is the refusal to live a life dictated by circumstances, opinions, or fears. A woman who wakes up at 3 a.m. is making a statement with her life. She will not be average. She will not be passive. She will not be bound by. She is breaking the chains of mediocrity, and with each morning she rises, she is stepping into the fullness of who she was meant to be. In a world that never stops moving, where noise fills every corner of life and distractions pull from every direction, stillness has become a lost art. Yet the strongest women understand that true power is not found in constant motion, but in moments of intentional silence. That is why they wake up at 3 a.m., not to rush into the demands of the day, but to embrace the stillness that allows them to hear, to think, to strengthen their spirit before the noise begins. The world rewards busyness, glorifies hustle, and praises those who are always doing, always achieving, always running from one task to another. But the wise woman knows that motion without direction is meaningless. She does not rise early to simply fill her hours with more activity. She rises to be still, to listen, to connect with the deeper purpose that fuels her every step. She understands that before she can give to the world, she must first receive. Before she can lead others, she must lead herself. Before she can fight the battles of the day, she must prepare her heart and mind in the silence of the morning. At 3 a.m., there are no notifications demanding her attention, no voices pulling her in different directions, no expectations weighing her down. There is only her and the quiet, and it is in that quiet that she finds clarity. She reflects, she prays, she gathers the strength that will carry her through the challenges ahead. The power of stillness is not in doing nothing, it is in preparing for everything. It is in stepping away from the rush to make room for wisdom. It is in shutting out the world so that she can hear the voice that truly matters. Most people fear silence because it forces them to face themselves. It reveals their doubts, their insecurities, their unanswered questions. But the strong woman embraces it. She knows that ignoring these things does not make them disappear. It only makes them harder to overcome. Though she meets them in the stillness, wrestles with them, and emerges stronger, she allows herself to process, to heal, to align with the truth that will sustain her through whatever comes next. When the world wakes up, she does not enter it flustered or uncertain. She steps into the day with confidence, with direction, with a heart that is settled and a mind that is clear. She does not react to life. She commands it. While others are running to catch up, she is already ahead. While others are overwhelmed, she is at peace because she has taken the time to be still. She moves with purpose because she has listened in silence. She speaks with wisdom because she has found her strength in the quiet. Nothing in the noise can shake her. Strength is not found in comfort. It is not built in ease or shaped by days that go exactly as planned. Strength is forged in the unseen moments, in the quiet battles, in the decision to rise when it would be easier to rest. The strongest women do not wait for life to make them strong. They choose to build an unshakable spirit, and that building begins when the rest of the world is asleep. That is why they wake up at 3 a.m. This is not about having more time in the day. It is about making time for what truly matters. It is about meeting yourself in the early hours when there are no distractions, no expectations, no one watching. It is in these moments that the foundation of strength is laid, not in the public victories, but in the private disciplines. A woman who wakes before the world is not just getting ahead on her task. She is getting ahead in her mind, in her heart, in her soul. She is conditioning herself to show up for life with focus and resilience, regardless of what comes her way. An unshakable spirit is not something you are born with. It is something you build, brick by brick, decision by decision, sacrifice by sacrifice. It is built when you refuse to stay in bed when everything in you wants to rest. It is built when you commit to growth, to discipline, to faith, even when no one is watching. It is built in the silent hours when no applause is given, no rewards are handed out, no one is there to tell you that you are doing the right thing. Because the strongest women do not rise for validation, they rise for transformation. A woman who has built an unshakable spirit cannot be broken by circumstances. She cannot be swayed by opinions, cannot be stopped by fear, cannot be controlled by doubt. She has faced herself in the quiet moments before the sun has risen, and she has done the work to strengthen the parts of herself that no one sees. While others depend on external motivation, she draws from an internal fire. While others crumble under pressure, she stands firm because she is already prepared for the storms that will come. She understands that greatness is not about avoiding difficulty. It is about being prepared to face it. The reason she rises at 3 a.m. is not that it is easy, but because it makes her strong. It forces her to push past comfort, to discipline herself when there is no immediate reward, to train herself to act on purpose rather than emotion. And because she does this day after day, choice after choice, sacrifice after sacrifice, she becomes the kind of woman who does not waver, does not break, does not give up. She becomes unshakable. The world sees the results of a strong woman, but it rarely sees the work she puts in while no one is watching. It sees her confidence, her wisdom, her resilience, but it does not see the early mornings, the quiet sacrifices, the moments of solitude when she chooses growth over comfort. The strongest women wake up at 3 a.m. because they know their purpose is bigger than the present moment. They are not just living for today. They are building a legacy that will outlast them. While others sleep, she prepares. She understands that greatness is not a product of luck or talent alone. It is cultivated in the hours most people ignore. She knows that if she wants to shape the future, she must master the present. And so she wakes up before the sun, not because it is easy, but because she is planting seeds that will one day bear fruit. Every choice she makes, every moment she dedicates to self-improvement, every sacrifice she embraces, contributes to a legacy that will inspire others long after she is gone. A strong woman does not wait for the perfect moment to begin her journey. She does not delay her purpose until life is convenient. She rises in the darkness because she knows that her time is now. While others are waiting for a sign, she is taking action. While others are hoping for a breakthrough, she is creating one. She understands that history is not written by those who do what is easy. It is written by those who do what is necessary. She does not just wake up early for herself. She rises for the people who look up to her, for the daughters and sisters and friends who will follow in her footsteps. She rises because she knows that the example she sets will give others permission to rise as well. She understands that true impact is not about what she accomplishes in her own lifetime, but about how she empowers others to step into their own strength. There will be days when no one acknowledges her efforts. There will be moments when it feels like no progress is being made. But she does not waver because she knows that real change happens in the unseen hours. The woman who wakes at 3 a.m. is not seeking recognition. She is building something far greater. She is shaping a life that will inspire, a story that will be remembered, a foundation that others can stand upon. She understands that legacy is not built in a single moment, but in a lifetime of choices. And so she rises. A strong woman does not wake up at 3 a.m. for applause. She does not rise before the sun to impress the world or to chase fleeting success. She rises because she knows that the greatest battles are won in the quiet, unseen moments. She rises because she refuses to be bound by mediocrity, because she seeks wisdom in stillness, because she is building a spirit that cannot be shaken. She rises not just for herself, but for the legacy she will leave behind. While the world sleeps, she prepares. While others delay, she decides. While many fear the darkness, she embraces it, knowing that dawn will always follow. This is the difference between those who wish for greatness and those who walk in it. Strength is not given, it is built. Purpose is not found, it is claimed. And transformation does not happen in comfort. It happens in the discipline of rising when no one is watching. So to every woman who has ever questioned whether she has what it takes, to every woman who has felt the weight of doubt, of struggle, of uncertainty, know this: the power is already within you. The moment you choose to rise, the moment you refuse to let circumstances dictate your destiny, is the moment everything changes. The strongest women wake up at 3 a.m. because they know their time is now, not tomorrow, not someday, now. And when they rise, they do not rise alone. They rise with purpose, with faith, with a fire that will not be extinguished. They rise to lead, to inspire, to conquer. And when the world finally wakes, it does not see the struggle, the sacrifice, or the silent victories, but it will see the results. It will see a woman who is unshakable, a woman who commands her destiny, a woman who is already prepared before the day has even begun. So rise, step into your power, because the world is waiting for the woman you are becoming.